Hello, the Flash fans. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. It would appear we have finally reached the final arc, the finale, if you will, of Ezra Miller and these controversies. What we're going to be talking about here today is it looks like we finally got our answers to what Warner Brothers is planning to do with Ezra Miller. For the past couple of months, or heck, even a year ago, once Ezra Miller continued to get in trouble with the law, a lot of DC fans thought this might be the end of them as Barry Allen, that we would soon be seeing them getting replaced or a new actor would step into the role. Something was bound to happen, and now we finally know what will happen. So I'm gonna definitely need your guys' opinions on this situation. Do you think Warner Brothers is making the right decision? Are you surprised at all with their decision? And just for the sake of argument, because we have gone through this before, what will happen if just one more controversy occurs? Alright, so today Variety went ahead and published an article out of the blue about Ezra Miller and their continuing controversies that have left fans wondering if they will be replaced out of the role of the Flash. And there's actually some interesting details thrown in here and stuff that's not going to surprise us at all. For one, they want to mention up top is that they have heard from their sources that The Flash is said to be an extraordinary movie. From all the audiences that Warner Bros. Has tested it with, they have loved The Flash. It's said to be a really good movie, a crowd pleaser, a blockbuster if you will, something that could very much succeed at the box office. And it's because of the movie turning out so good and looking to please audiences that Warner Brothers not really going to do a damn thing about the Ezra Miller situation. They say here in the article, barring unforeseen developments, sources say Warner is barreling ahead with intentions to give the superhero film the full blockbuster treatment. The Flash simply costs too much money to scrap the project entirely, and it will likely not generate the revenue it needs to turn a profit without playing in theaters. Remember, a lot of us were speculating what they could do with the Flash movie with the Ezra Miller situation, because how do you market a movie when you have someone that's being constantly arrested or associated with violence? We saw recently at CinemaCon where they recently promoted the Flash that all the footage they shown was mainly about Michael Keaton Batman, Supergirl, basically every other character except the Flash because of obvious reasons. And I was like, look, you can't market a movie that way. The movie is called The Flash. You have to show the Flash in your Flash trailers. So we were like, dang, maybe they're gonna dump it on HBO Max. And no, this movie needs to be released in theaters because it needs to turn a profit. It was an expensive film to make, and since the film is actually looking to be good, they're gonna give it the blockbuster treatment is what they're calling it, is going ahead and releasing it, putting trailers, putting Ezra Miller front and center. Now I want to take a pause right here because I know there's going to be some people really upset right now and going, this is ridiculous, this is crazy, how could they do this? Do they not have any decency? I gotta be honest and say, recently since we first heard about the Hawaiian arrest that Ezra Miller had, new information has come up that has made me look at the situation a little differently. Now I don't want to spend too much time on this because again, we're focusing on the movie aspects and not the gossip side, but some of you guys might have seen or heard there was actual video footage of Ezra Miller the night they were arrested, and it kind of opened my eyes that Ezra Miller was not entirely at fault. But again, that's not me absolving them or saying I 100% support the actions that Ezra has made in the past, but it looks like Warner Brothers read up on all the details, looked at all the information and said, we could still stand by you as our Flash and market you in our movie. Furthermore, they go on to elaborate here that with the Flash, insiders say it would not be possible to replace Miller without shooting the entire movie. They are in just about every scene and there is not enough digital technology in existence to configure that magic without going back to square one, and redoing the entire film is not a realistic proposition for any movie, much less one that wrapped production months ago and already cost hundreds of millions. I know there's people out there that constantly put it in there saying, get Dylan O'Brien, Grant Gustin, have them refilm the entire movie, but guys, that would literally be flushing down hundreds of $millions just to replace one person when there's hundreds of people that worked on this movie that are completely innocent. Sasha Calle, Supergirl, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, the director himself. They really shouldn't have to suffer because of one person's mistakes, which is why ultimately I'm still excited for the Flash movie, and I'm going to try and keep all these controversies and stuff out of my head when I go see the film. Still, with all that said, now we know Warner Brothers is keeping Ezra Miller. They're going to stand by their side. They're going to market them all the way, maybe even include them in interviews now. Probably just tell the interviewer before they start, it's like, can't bring up any of the controversies, only talk about the Flash, please. What happens after the Flash is released? Because they make it clear in this article, they want to make a sequel. They don't want to just make one movie involving the Flash, and we know the Flash is really an important movie for the DC universe right now because it's supposed to explain a lot of stuff. One in particular, Batgirl. That movie will be a direct correlation of how the Flash ends, setting up a new universe where Michael Keaton had a Robin, is now going to train Batgirl. His Commissioner Gordon is J.K. Simmons. If all goes goes well and Ezra Miller stays squeaky clean this entire time until the Flash is released, I think there is a real possibility they'll continue being the Flash, they'll keep them in the suit, and they'll make a sequel with them. But again, that's presented on the fact that they remain squeaky clean, a member of society. We don't see any more crazy outbursts or videos that could sway the public's mind. Because while they would rather just have everything put behind them and ignore all these controversies, they're open to replacing them for the next movie. People attached to the Flash say here in the article, Ezra is not Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Basically saying, Ezra Miller might be the Flash, but not the entire world associates the Flash with Ezra Miller. So a recast is entirely possible after the movie's released. And I mean, we're not even talking about the giant elephant in the room, how Warner Brothers and Discovery are changing everything with DC. We are hearing it almost every other week. These big changes, them letting go of people, them canceling projects. The Flash was just one of those movies that was made before they got there. They have to release it to earn some money back, and it really will all just be determined on how people receive the Flash when it comes out. Because I think right now it's so easy for a lot of people to say, Chris, they're obviously going to replace Ezra. They're not going to want them back in that role, but what if the audience loves Ezra Miller in this Flash movie? Like, yes, this whole video and us the past couple of months have been talking about Ezra getting in trouble constantly, but that's really only like a fraction of the people going to see this movie know about that. Literally like 70 to 60% of the people who will buy a ticket to go see The Flash will have no idea in their mind that this person went through so many different things before the movie was released. So it's going to be so wild to see what people are saying once The Flash is released, how much they actually like this person in the role. Because I don't know, in my mind, I'm like, sure, if everything goes good, I'd rather them just keep them. I like continuity. I wouldn't want to see another actor step in there and then have two different versions to look at, like the Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo situation. But do you really want to take that risk of like the time in between Flash 1 and then Flash 2 is made? That's a lot of time for something to go wrong, and eyes are going to be heavy on Ezra. But in the end, the thing I mainly want to focus on here and move past all of this, because we don't just want to associate controversies with The Flash, as they specifically say here, Warner Brothers remains enthusiastic about The Flash, believing the film to be one of the DC's strongest theatrical efforts. They believe so heavily in this movie. They think it is that good that people are going to love it that much, and that's what they're going to try and focus on now from here until the movie's actual release. So this is where I throw it off to you guys. You guys hear all these details involving The Flash. You hear Warner Brothers not going to do a thing. They're going to stay with Ezra Miller, going to actually promote them further. Are you on their side for this? What do you think will happen once The Flash is released? Do you think there's a possibility they could recast? Or if Ezra stays squeaky clean and nice to the public, they just keep them. Anything, everything, be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.